Good morning, boys and girls. I'm really glad to see you again today. I hope you're ready for a really fun story time. Shall we go? Clap your hands if you love stories. Clap your hands, I know you do. I'm so glad that we could be together. Glad to share a story time with you. All right. So today we've got a couple of stories. One of them that you might know, and one of them that maybe you don't know so much. And we're going to start with the new one first, I think. And I hope you really enjoy it. Our first story is called The Lion and the Mouse. And I know that you know. Show me with your hands how big a lion is. And can you make the sound of a lion? Can you roar for me? Now, show me with your hands the size of a mouse. Like that? And what sound does a mouse make? Squeak. That's right, they squeak. So, in this story, we start with the lion. He's lying in the middle of the jungle on the ground, taking a nap. The sun is warm on his fur, and it feels so good, and he's yawning and can't really be bothered to do much of anything. But as he's lying there, he feels a tickle. Just a little tickle on his nose. Can you tickle your nose? Tickle, tickle. And it woke him up. And he opened one eye and saw there was a mouse running right across his nose. I don't think that mouse knew quite where he was, or I don't think he'd have been there, do you? But it was too late, because quick as a wink, that lion took his paw, knocked the mouse off of him, and held him pinned to the ground. And the mouse was terrified. The mouse said, "Squeak! Please don't eat me, Mr. Lion. Please, I promise that if you let me go, I will do you a big favor. I will pay you back someday." And the lion started to laugh as loud as he could, because he said, "Can you imagine a little piddly thing like you able to pay me back, able to do me a favor?" And the mouse said, I know that I'm so tiny, but please don't eat me, please." And the lion was already feeling tired and warm and comfortable from the sun. And he sighed a big sigh and said, "I might as well let you go. You're not really big enough to be worth the bother of eating anyway. Scamper off, but don't come near again." And he lifted his paw, and quick as a wink, the mouse was gone, as fast as he could go. Now, sometime later, the lion had gotten awake from his nap, and he was enjoying a nice prowl through the jungle. For now, he was hungry, and he saw ahead of him a herd of zebra. So he was prowling closer and closer to the zebra. And suddenly, right as he was about to jump, right as he was about to leap, down from the trees above him came a big net, a hunter's net. And it was heavy and thick, and it pinned him to the ground, and he roared, and he pushed at it with his giant claws, and he pushed at it, and he bit at it, and he tried to rear up. But it was no use. That net was not going anywhere, and soon the hunters would be coming back to see what they had caught. And he thought that all was lost. But just then, he felt another tickle, this time on his tail. And he spun around to look, and there was that mouse. And the mouse said, "Don't worry, Mr. Lion. I'll have you out of here in a jiffy." Well, the lion didn't understand how a mouse could possibly get him out of the net if he couldn't get out himself. But before he could question too much, the mouse was climbing up on him and started to nip at the rope with his sharp little teeth. Nip, nip, nip. He chewed through one spot, and he chewed through another spot. And before he knew it, he had chewed through a large part of the net, and the lion was able to tear it and get free. And the lion said, "Who could ever have imagined such a thing? That a little thing like you would be able to do a favor for someone like me?" And the mouse said, Sometimes we're more helpful than our size would look. Sometimes the littlest creatures can do the biggest things. So have you guys been going outside to take walks or play in the nice spring weather we've been having? Did you see any bunnies out there? I think I have a bunny living under the bushes in front of my house. Can you make me some bunny ears just like this? And wiggle your nose. Once I saw a bunny with a green cabbage head. I think I'll have some cabbage, that little bunny said. He nibbled and he nibbled and he pricked his ears to say, I think that it's time that I should hop away. Can you hop like a bunny? Our second story today is called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I bet some of you know this one. To make it special, I've got some very good friends who are here with me to help me tell the story. You ready? Do you want to meet them? Once upon a time, in a pretty little house in the middle of the woods, lived three bears. There was a papa bear. Say hi. And there was a mama bear. Oh, how stylish. And last, there was a baby. You do realize that you aren't really a bear, right? Oh. He says to say that due to quarantine and social distancing, the baby bear was unable to come over and visit us to play a part in our story today. So playing the role of the baby bear will be Baby Dragon. Put on your imagination caps, boys and girls. So we had our three bears living in their little house in the woods, and they made some porridge one morning for breakfast. But it was too hot to eat right away, so they decided to take a walk in the woods while it was cooling. So off they went. Bye, bears and dragon. But while they were walking in the woods, they had an unexpected guest come by their house. There was a young lady named Goldilocks with beautiful blonde curly hair. Oh, come on. This is clearly a hippopotamus. Put those imagination caps on again, boys and girls, because playing the role of our little girl is a lovely blonde hippopotamus today. Well, Goldilocks had apparently left her manners behind when she went on her walk today, because when she went up to the little house and knocked on the door and nobody was there, she decided to let herself in. Perhaps she was attracted by the smell of the porridge, the delicious porridge that was waiting on the table to be eaten. She went up to the table and she smelled, and she couldn't help herself. She pulled Papa Bear's bowl over to herself and she took a big bite. And she went, "Ah, it's too hot!" So next she pulled Mama Bear's bowl over to herself and took a bite of it. And she said, "Oh, brr, it's too cold." So finally, she went over to Baby Bear's bowl and took a bite of it. It was just right. And she ate up all of Baby Bear's porridge. Then she decided she was going to look around a little bit more, and she went into the living room and she saw 3 chairs. First, she lifted herself up into Papa Bear's chair. Oh, but it was too hard. So next she went over to sit on Mama Bear's chair. And she practically sank in. It was way too soft. And then she went over to Baby Bear's chair, and oh, it was just right, and it rocked. So she rocked and rocked and rocked until crack. Because Baby Bear's chair was not really meant to support the weight of a hippopotamus. But by then she was very tired. So she crept her way back until the bear's bedroom. And there was a great big bed that she climbed up into. Oh, but she had trouble even getting up into Papa Bear's bed. It was much too big for her. So next she went over to Mama Bear's bed and she climbed up into it. Oh, but it was too soft and smelled like flowers, and she didn't really like that very much. So last she went over and climbed into Baby Bear's bed, which was just the right size and just the right amount of softness and firmness, and she fell asleep. Meantime, our bears returned from their walk, and they went over to their table. They didn't see Goldilocks. They went over to their table, and Papa Bear said, "Someone's been eating my porridge." And Mama Bear went, "Someone's been eating my porridge too." And Baby Bear said, "Someone's been eating my porridge, and they've eaten it all up." They went to look in their living room, and they saw their chairs. And Papa Bear looked at his chair and said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair." And Mama Bear went and looked at hers and said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair." And Baby Bear said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair," and they broke it all to pieces. Poor Baby Bear. So then they went into their bedroom, and Papa Bear looked into his big bed and he said, "Look at this. Someone's been sleeping in my bed." And Mama Bear looked at her bed and said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed." And Baby Bear looked, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and they're right here." And the bears gathered around Baby Bear's bed, and Goldilocks woke up. "Oh no!" And she quickly ran out of their house and ran into the woods and never looked back. And Goldilocks learned a lesson that day. We should not take what is ours. And the bears learned a lesson that when we leave the house, we should probably lock the door. We have a very special song today. It's a folk song that's actually about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's called "When Goldilocks Went to the House of the Bears." And if you want, you can clap along, you can shake a rattle or a shaky egg, anything you want to do to join along with the song today. And I hope you really like it. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A bowl that was huge, and a bowl that was small, and a bowl that was tiny, and that was all. She counted them 1, 2, 3. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A chair that was huge, and a chair that was small, and a chair that was tiny, and that was all. She counted them 1, 2, 3. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A bed that was huge, and a bed that was small, and a bed that was tiny, and that was all. She counted them 1, 2, 3. When Goldilocks ran from the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A bear that was huge, and a bear that was small, and a bear that was tiny, and that was all. They growled at her, grr, grr, grr. Well, I hope you enjoyed our story time today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys again next time. I hope that you come back and join us again, all right? Everybody get ready now. Goldilocks is gonna help me with this part. Let me see you reach for the ceiling. Get those arms up. And touch the floor. Stand up again. Let's do some more. Touch your head. And now your knees. Up to your shoulders, like this, you see. Reach didn't touch the floor. That's all there is. There isn't any more. Bye-bye. I'll see you later.